talk to us about, now let's ramp up to the government approved study. Let's talk about your practice there and how sickle cell anemia got into your brain as something you needed to fix.
Well, so when I returned to Nigeria about 9 years ago, there were issues with, we started seeing problems that were pretty obvious and that they weren't being taken care of, either by healthcare professionals or by the government. These problems included brain disorders with everything from cerebral palsy to seizures. And so we found out that we could do something about it. And we started using nutrients to help to stimulate the brain to repair itself. And we got a lot of success doing that. And it got the government's attention. And we got into a partnership with the government to address these things. In fact, the government gave us permission or endorsed us and went on to mandate us to teach about these things, not just in public, but in medical schools as well, because of the results we're getting. Now we have a TV show which is on Africa's largest TV network. We are among the top. I've been told that our show is the third most popular show on that network. So we've been good at getting the word out, and so people would come with brain disorders, so they'll bring their kids, and a lot of that happens. I mean, 70% of all births don't happen in a standard hospital. So you can imagine. Once the births don't happen where there's a qualified doctor or healthcare professional, there's a lot of things that can easily go wrong, and a lot of things did go wrong, especially and the brain seems to be the first casualty of that problem. So we had a hands full, and in the process we started having our parents bringing their kids with sickle cell disease who had multiple strokes before the age of 10. And to me, that was bizarre. I mean, as a medical student, the only time I ever treated kids, it's crazy. The only time I ever treated or had contact with kids with sickle cell disease was as a medical student over 20 years ago. And I never in my wildest dreams would I ever have thought I was going to treat or be doing what I'm doing today. In fact, pediatrics, I had made up my mind, pediatrics, it was a field, there were too many details. The kids, I didn't want any kids, the memory or thought that if I had done anything to any other child, a child of any other parents, and things had gone wrong and they had lost a child because I just didn't want to deal with that. So I knew I was not going to be doing anything pediatrics. But here we are, dealing with majority of our work is with kids, and not just kids, but kids with major brain disorders who are left hopeless